is no Talos worship going on here.
It violates the spirit of the White Gold Concordat. I must urge you to cease and desist at once.
Oh? What is the spirit of the White Gold Concordat?
The spirit of the White Gold Concordat is that men are not and can never be gods. Just as Tiber Septim is not a god, nor is Martin Septim.
But what does the Concordat actually say?
The Concordat forbids Talos worship.
No mention of Martin Septim worship, though?
No, there isn't. I must consult with my superiors. Perhaps we will have to petition for a slight amendment to some unfortunately specific wording within the Concordat. We will keep our eyes on your little cult, however. And so, Skyrim's new favorite folk hero chooses to grace us with their presence. The Dragonborn, I presume. The burdens of fame weighing you down? Well, don't worry. I assure you, you'll receive no special treatment from me. Many before you have said the same. Many before you have reneged on that notion almost as soon as they'd emptily recited it. They now find themselves hanging from trees, their decrepit husks wasting away amidst near-endless blizzard. Enjoy your stay in this fair city. No, I just wear the uniform for fun. Yes, of course I am. I'm here to protect the Aldmeri interests in Bruma, and ensure that the terms of the White Gold Concordat are upheld. Important, given that we're so close to Skyrim and its rebellious little Nords. Next, you'll be telling me, my, oh my, not many Gwar in Bruma. Scales of Auriel, thanks for telling me that. I'll be sure to tell all my friends. Put up posters, even. Not highly of me, I suppose. Then again, the feeling is mutual. To hear you speak of civility is somewhat disarming, considering our environs. This city is filled with uncultured louts who I suspect would quickly turn on each other for an ancient bottle of mead. Given that you at least have the vocabulary and mental faculties to understand the concept of civil society, yes, let us speak. But be quick about it. Disarming lack of incorrigible idiocy aside, you are still not my idea of a scintillating conversationalist. No. If anything fruitful is going to come of this conversation, it will not be the sentimental exchange of life stories. Suffice it to say that I am a Thalmor justiciar operating in Bruma. My identity outside of that is entirely irrelevant. I am Altmer. I was born and raised among the wizard lords of Alinor, and now I am posted to a frigid squat filled with brutes and drunkards. That doesn't exactly lend itself to a warm disposition. Does that make things any clearer? Nor does ignorance justify obstinance, but that lesson evidently hasn't trickled down to many residents of this frosty backwater. Oh well, I suppose a Khajiit can't change its spots just like that. But yes, to put a long story short, we are all products of our environment, are we not? I will put it in simple terms, so perhaps you might understand. The Aldmeri Dominion signed an accord with the Empire, known as the White Gold Concordat. That accord guarantees the Dominion, and by extension the Thalmor, that Talos worship shall be outlawed. We are simply here to ensure that the Empire does not renege on that commitment. Guilt. Why should I feel guilt? I'm a Thalmor justiciar, yes, but the Aldmeri Dominion is not a single consciousness. This empire is a political entity. It has committed untold acts of persecution and genocide in the past. One need only have a cursory knowledge of the Tiber Wars and Imperial history to know this to be true. Tiber Septim, the man-god so many Nords and Imperials love to revere, was himself guilty of the sins you attribute solely to the Dominion. But I digress. I am a soldier of the Thalmor, and I carry out the duties assigned to me by my superiors. If your goal is to make me feel guilty for enforcing dictates which your own emperor signed into law, then I'm afraid you will enjoy precious little success. I haven't given it very much thought. My enjoyment is irrelevant. I have a role within the Thalmor, and the duties which go along with that. I have fulfilled and will continue to fulfill that which is asked of me to the best of my ability. Again, my enjoyment, or otherwise, is irrelevant. Bye.
Oh look, an infant. How quaint. Surely the better question would be, why so patient? Because I can tell you in no uncertain terms that you are trying my patience with your primitive blubbering and inane questions. Leave me. Hunt down and execute Talos worshippers, keep people in line, and enforce the White Gold Concordat. Oh, but we practically do. I presume even one such as yourself is aware of the White Gold Concordat, yes? That document guarantees the Thalmor the end of worship of that miserable little man-god the Nords so love to falsely revere, Talos. We need to ensure that this agreement is upheld. See you.
Ralgar Silvercloud. Saw a beautiful stag the other day. Should have got my bow and went after it.
Hello. What is it? Good morning. To ask me why I became an acolyte of Saint Martin is to ask why thunder strikes, why rain falls, or why the wolf hunts. It is because this is what comes naturally to me. You seem confused. Allow me to explain further. We all follow a path through life. We all desperately attempt to influence it to go a certain way, or lead us to a certain destination. Others desperately attempt to steer it away from a destination. The amount of influence we can exert upon that path varies, but is invariably limited. In many ways, we must all make the most of what life gives us, and adapt to its trials accordingly. Without boring you with specifics, it would be appropriate to say that my life so far has taught me many lessons of sorrow and grief. I have constantly been set back, and my attempts to change my course have always been met with bitter resistance by the winds of life. It is through St. Martin's example that I truly find my inspiration to become more than I am. It is in this that I am enlightened, and hope to be reborn. Talk to you later.
Greetings, stranger. Have you come to hear the gospel of Saint Martin? Yes, Saint Martin. Have you heard the tale of how Martin Septim ascended to sainthood? If not, perhaps that would be a good place to begin. Yes, Martin Septim. Are you familiar with his story? Perhaps you would like to hear it. Saint Martin had humble beginnings as a priest of Akatosh in the city of Kvatch. When Daedra overran the city during the Oblivion Crisis, Martin led the people to refuge in the chapel. The fabled champion of Cyrodiil came to rescue him and told him the shocking news that he was the son of the Emperor. This came as a surprise to him, but it gave him new purpose after his home was destroyed. Along with the champion and the blades, Martin designed and executed a plan to undermine the efforts of Mankar Cameron and the Mythic Dawn cult. There was a great battle here in Bruma as the Great Gate was opened to secure an artifact of immense power for Martin's plan. Finally, the champion under Martin's guidance slew Mankar Cameron as the Imperial City came under a great Daedric siege. It appeared all was lost, but Martin shattered the Amulet of Kings in the Temple of the One, transforming into a huge flaming avatar of Akatosh. In this form, he defeated the manifestation of Mehrunes Dagon in an epic, glorious duel. This broke the siege of the Imperial City, restored the war between Tamriel and Oblivion, and ended the Oblivion Crisis. Our message? Our message is one of aspiration. The followers of Saint Martin must aspire to be more than they are, to rise above their current place in the world and become something greater. In Martin's case, this meant rising from a humble priest to savior of the world. In more common cases, this could mean many different things. Rising above greed, evil, temptation, poverty. This is the power of Saint Martin and his holy word. Restoratives. The Chapel of the Divines in Cyrodiil will never turn a blind eye to those in need. See you around.
I'm Ruchia of the Jucani family.
Oh, there you are.
Priest Neremus, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were looking for me.
That's all right, Initiate. I just wanted to ask, how are you faring with your duties?
Well, for today, I tidied up the Undercroft, prepared the shrines for Sundar's service, scrubbed the floors.
Indeed. That's remarkable. I don't even remember asking you the last one.
I aim to please Priest Neremus, both you and Saint Martin.
Well, you certainly are the most devoted acolyte I've ever seen. I'm sure Saint Martin appreciates your service as much as I. Carry on.